finally, you've made it to the grand finale. And I believe this will be one of your best. Yeah, I know you have had the best already, but this might be your best, also one of the best, according to how you receive what is being shared today. Now, I want to start by saying that on a serious note, whatever is being shared in these courses, these sessions, I ask you to always note down what is being shared by your spirit to your mind, not what I'm sharing. What I mean is that as I share with you, there is a kind of world that your mind goes to. And in that world, your spirit starts to reveal to you more of what you can do, how you can do it. You get? And that world where you feel total peace, where you're being taught, where you feel like I'm teaching you. But my work, my major responsibility is reminding your spirit, like steering your spirit up to teach your mind what you specifically need, what is yours beyond what I can say, but what was meant to be yours, that is already present in your spirit. I believe you're with me, you're getting me. So you need to note all that down, because you need it so much, so much, concerning your purpose and where you're going. All right? Okay, with that said, let's start on with today's session, automating your mind. This is an interesting one, because I want to start by telling you about this neuroplasticity bias. I don't know if you've heard of it, but you can call it the law of neuroplasticity, which can be explained as in a way that this is the brain's ability to form new neural connections, or call them new nervous connections, neurons, okay? And those ones that run into our bodies from the brain to transfer the messages and informations to all parts of the brain, and also all parts of the body, and then also from all parts of the body back to the brain to have the information uh, and to have an interpretation added to those informations being brought, and then you have the real information being given to you. So here we are seeing that this is the brain's ability to form new neural connections and strengthen existing ones. What am I trying to mean concerning our part? Here it goes on to say that when you repeatedly think about something, those neural pathways become stronger over time. For example, if you think about stress or your stressors, then those neural pathways, the pathways in charge of stress, become stronger over time. For example, when you were 2 minutes into thinking about your stressor, which could be your challenge, it was not as intense as when you were 30 minutes in. It was actually more intense when you were 3 days in, then a week in, then very dangerous when you were a month in, if you have reached into a month. Okay? So, and in conclusion, the explanation is that making those thoughts and associated perceptions more prominent and vivid in your mind. When you repeatedly think about something, those neural pathways become stronger over time, making those thoughts and associated perceptions more prominent and vivid in your mind. Okay? I believe that is the neuroplasticity bias is so clear on showing you how more vivid a stressor can become. Now, by just reverse engineering this, it just gives you more light on how to automate your mind system. Like you can just rewire in no time by just repeatedly thinking about something. And once you do that, the mind itself starts to get the vivid perceptions of what you're thinking. It gets the more real identity of what you're thinking, what you're seeing. You've heard of this of this principle: as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. Eh? I want us to get the English here. The tense is so important. It says that as a man thinketh, or as a man thinks in his heart, so is he. It does not say that so will he be, or so does he become. It says that so is he. So if you can see yourself actually in the right way that you want to perceive yourself as, then that's how you are paid. That's why I was telling you of functioning in the imaginary realm, taking it as your real world, because that is the real one. Whatever is here is not real. Whatever is tangible is not real. And if you're in that imaginary realm and you imagine things that are not real, man, you're just cooking yourself up. Like you're doing yourself a disservice by functioning there. It does not mean that stressors will not come. They will continuously come. But as they come, how prepared do they find you? How strong do they find you? How ready do they find your mind automated to move over this? You know, I want to use this analogy to make it clear for you. I don't know, if you're in a four-wheel drive and let's say you have reached into a place that is slippery, eh, you know, a four-wheel drive car actually does not even identify that this place is slippery, especially if it is not so slippery. And that's when you can start feeling that you're in a slippery place. But otherwise, it just moves over. It goes on passing by. Reason being, its automation is that way. You too can move into places whereby at any time, no matter the challenge that comes, if a challenge comes and it is lower than that frequency that you continuously automate your mind to, from your spirit and automating your mind to, then this challenge, however difficult it has been to other people, to you, it will be just a piece of cake. Like how you would go and eat some candy. Just no time. You've seen this before. You've seen it in your company. How you had some challenges that gave you the headache. But the more consistently you solve them, the more now they are so easy in that even if they tried to come again, or some which are kind of relevant to them come, you know how to solve them with ease. Like ease, you can solve them at any time t. Now, this is our neuroplasticity bias that shows us about the biological part of how our neural pathways that they can change And now from focusing on the ones that you're not thinking on, and focusing on the ones that you're thinking on, then making them stronger and making them the most prominent ones. And then the mind continues to be wired into perceiving it as the real thing, which is what you want, because it is the real thing. Your mind is the one that is not persuaded that it is the real thing. Okay? Has that moved in very well? Now, if that has moved in very well, I believe it has, then this takes me to the law of today that we are specifically focusing on, which is how you do it, how you make sure that you do this that we have been sharing, which is the law of beholding, the you seeing, you beholding. Okay? We have just seen that what you think is what you are. Now, here, how do you become? As in, the moment you see it, you become, the spirit becomes. Okay? Now, there is a process now of advancing into that reality, because sometimes it might not happen all at once. Or what you understand now, after some time, you will find yourself that yes, you understood it, but there are some bits that you didn't understand then that you have now understood, and also after some time you now understand them more. Now here the law of beholding gives us what this actually is, and the law of beholding comes from 2 Corinthians 3:18, uh, specifically I'm using the amplified version, which states that, and we all with unveiled face continually seeing or continually beholding as in a mirror. I want you to take care of the English, because words like continually mean too much in such kind of cases. Continually seeing as in a mirror the glory of the Lord are progressively being transformed into his image from one degree of glory to even more glory, which comes from the Lord, who is the Spirit. Are we together here? And that unveiled face, unveiled means when you forget, like, just imagine you, whatever was old, you've forgotten it. Now, you are just in that mood where whatever comes and it's new, you're ready to take it as the truth. You're ready to perceive it as the truth. Like, you're ready to consume it as the real identity. You get, you're just ready to take it in. Like how a baby is wired in their childhood stage. How they are born with a mind that remembers nothing, and then the society starts to program it. You get, starts to program the mind of that baby. Now, here, this is what it is saying, that you continually start to be, as you continually see it, then you progressively, from one degree to another, start to be wired into uh, that that glory or that identity that you are beholding, that you are seeing with an unveiled face, with, okay, like, with the new wine skin. When you behold the new wine, you are now becoming the new wine. You start to understand that new wine from one degree to another degree. Actually, it's not to another degree, but to even a more degree. Does that click very well? So the principle here shows us that you just have to focus on beholding what is right. Whatever is not right, just imagine it's not yours. Yeah, you might get it from other people that you that are mentoring you into those deeper places of maybe wealth also. But if it is not in resonance with what you really want, then just know it is going to corrupt the identity that you are trying to bring your mind and consciousness to. That identity that is already in your spirit that you're bringing your consciousness to. Now, I assure you, if you understand what has been shared in these few minutes, I believe this has been the shortest. If you understand this, just know the world is in danger. Even if stress tries to come, it will find you when you're steps ahead. Now, your responsibility is one, to make sure that the whole people that you are surrounded by also function this way. And that's your responsibility. Either teach them this or make them access this. Because if they don't, they will draw you back to those places, to those steps that you know you're supposed to be progressively going ahead. Yeah, so that's all I have for you. I hope you've noted down what your part is. On the next page, you can go on and partner. For those that have partnered, I am so grateful with your generosity. Thank you for the good work you're doing. And I personally will continue supporting you. Actually, I've made the YouTube channel accessible for you all. Yes, beyond, so that I can impact more people that are just like you. I know we are few that are like this. We are so few. And we don't have to go for the majority. We have to go for the specific ones. And from the specific ones, then we can go for the majority. But specifically, people like you have made it available for you. You can move there, at least get 5 minutes, 10 minutes every day, and behold, yeah, watch this, behold on it, and then let it stir up your spirit into this new identity that you actually are. All right, stay blessed, stay well. I love you so much that you know very well, and take care.